What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. This time we're taking a look at The Grey, starring Liam Neeson, directed by Joe Conrad. The Grey tells the story of these Alaskan oil drillers who get into a plane accident and are stranded in the Alaskan wilderness. Now, they have to fight for survival amongst very, very harsh cold weather conditions and a pack of wolves who are hot on their trail. So that is the overall basic plot of the movie. It's a survival movie. Now, it's really hard to believe, to me at least. This movie is officially almost 10 years old. This is an 8-year-old movie. I remember seeing it in theaters, and I really enjoyed watching it in theaters. I thought it was really, really good. And when I watch it now, my experience with it really does stay the same. I think this is a damn good survival film, and Liam Neeson is at his absolute best in this movie. Now, let's get the elephant out of the room before I talk about the movie. This movie was promoted as Liam Neeson versus a wolf, and you don't really get that. I mean, the end teases it, and then Joe Conrad cuts to black before the action even starts. I mean, yeah. Am I one of those people who would like to have seen Liam Neeson go get down and dirty and fighting a wolf? Yeah, because I think that would have been a badass scene. I mean, at least give us a minute. At least give us a minute or a minute and a half of Liam Neeson and the wolf duking it out, and that would have been satisfying for me at least. But we didn't get that. Instead, just as the action starts, cut to black, the movie ends. Disappointing? Yes. To some people, yes. To me, yeah, I would have liked to have seen Liam Neeson tackle the wolf and get down and dirty and get down and dirty. But we didn't get it. It is what it is. Now that I get that out of the way, let's talk about the good stuff. The cast in this movie is absolutely sensational. Liam Neeson as the lead character of Otway, I think he was great. He's pretty much a sniper hunter working for the oil company, and his job is to make sure that the workers are not attacked by any stray animals. And I like Liam Neeson's character. I like the fact that he's wrestling with a lot of demons, particularly the demon of trying to cope with his wife's death. And throughout the movie, we get flashbacks to him and his wife while she's on her deathbed, and we also get flashbacks to when he was a kid with his father reading this poem. We live and die on this day. I think Liam Neeson did a fantastic job playing the character of Otway. He gives him a real leadership quality, though with a lot of flaws. And Liam Neeson, talented actor. He knows how to play the drama right. Liam is also backed by a very strong supporting cast that includes Delmont Mulrooney, Frank Grillo, Dallas Roberts, and Joe Anderson, and all these guys play their roles exceptionally well. I think my favorite out of all of them is got to be the character of Diaz, played by Frank Grillo. I just like his asshole, snarky attitude. He has a comment for everything. And if you actually watch the movie, the character of Diaz does go through a kind of a character progression. We see him; he is like this smug, cocky asshole, and as the movie progresses, he breaks down a lot, particularly until we get to his final moments, where he can't go on no more, and he lets down the facade of the tough guy and accepts his fate. I think Frank Grillo gives a very underrated and understated performance in this movie. You really see the evolution of a cocky, arrogant asshole to a more of a content human being who's approaching the end of his line. Really, really underrated performance by Frank Grillo. Can't praise him enough. All the other actors, they do a good job as well. Dallas Roberts as Hendrick is fine. Joe Anderson, who plays the character of Flannery, I thought he was fine too. He was more or less the kind of sort of comic relief of the character. More or less, picture Flannery as Hudson from Aliens in a way. Though I do, but yeah. Flannery to me is like Hudson from Aliens. He's constantly commenting on everything, like, "Oh my God, we're gonna be dead, we're gonna die." But to Anderson's credit, he's not overly cringy with it. Like he finds a way to not be so annoying with his character to the point where you're like, okay, I accept it, and I appreciate it. I like it. From a directorial standpoint, I think this is a beautiful looking movie. Joe Conahan really captured the isolation of the Alaskan wilderness. This movie has a bittery, just harsh feel to it. Like you really feel these men are in dire straits. Like you really feel that they're stranded in the middle of nowhere. The weather is freezing. They're being attacked by a bunch of animals. They have very little weapons, as they have very few resources. And just seeing these men trying to conjure up whatever they can to make fire and weapons, it it's really primitive, and it takes you back to a time where this was the only way to live. And I like seeing how the de-evolution of man in a way, where they had to go back to the primitive in order to fight for survival. I kind of like that. It's very philosophical in a way when you look at it. And I think Joe Conahan captured that without being too in your face and on your nose with it. Like, it feels natural to me. All right, now the wolf attacks in this movie, I think, are really well done. And what I really like about the wolf attacks in these movies that you don't really see the wolf gnaw. Like, you see the wolves attack, but Joe Conahan does it in a way where he doesn't dwell on it. They're like, more or less, you see the attack just about to happen, and then you're seeing people get attacked from a distance with the wolves biting, clawing, and gnawing on everyone. I like how Joe Conahan, really made it more like to me. It felt like Jaws in a way, where like most of the time you see the aftermath, or you see the wolves attack, and then you just get like quick cuts, but you don't really see a full frame of what's happening. I like it. It gives it a very just realistic and visceral tone, and I like that stuff. And I think Joe Conahan really hit the nail on the head with those visuals, with those wolf attack visuals with this movie. I thought he did really, really good. So, yeah, those are pretty much my overall thoughts on The Grey. At the end of the day, I think this movie is still great. I like it. The acting is top notch. The story is very interesting and easy to follow. It has philosophical themes that doesn't hit over your head, and you really feel for these men when they get picked off one by the packs of wolves. And this, even though the ending was disappointing in a way because we didn't get to see Liam Neeson fight a wolf, that does not mean the rest of the movie disappointing, because it's not. This movie's a 9 out of 10. I love it. So yeah, those are my thoughts on The Grey. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like this video and subscribe, and I will check you back next time for more.